Hello and welcome back to another MT Doctrine. And in this episode, I want to talk about the various web challenges that we've been seeing over the many years on YouTube. And one of them has been the Cinnamon Challenge. And another one has been the Fire Challenge.
What's up? Oh no!
And another challenge has been the Ice Bucket Challenge, which is more for ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. So it's a lot better than a Fire Challenge, which is dangerous, and the Cinnamon Challenge, which is stupid, but there is the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Just pour it over your head.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So, once again, I think I come from a different planet called Eartha, and I was kidnapped to Earth, and the wonderful things that we do. So with the challenges that we're doing, they are childish. They are dangerous. They are unintelligent. Why aren't we doing more intelligent challenges? Why are we doing this type of stuff? I mean, every celebrity, ex-presidents are doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. Why aren't we doing something that has a little bit more intelligence? What's very interesting is that we as human beings, we tend to think of ourselves as intelligent creatures, that we're very, very smart. But we don't do a lot of smart things. Look at some of the top channels on YouTube. Look at some of these challenges that I'm talking about. They're not very intelligent. Why aren't we doing more intelligent challenges? Well, I'm guessing because it's not interesting. It's boring. Wow, I didn't know that something of intelligence is boring. It's not a compliment if you actually hear it out loud. It really isn't though. Now keep in mind, by no stretch of the imagination, I'm the most intelligent person on the planet. No. But what about a challenge an intelligent challenge where you actually read a chapter of a book of Harry Potter, a Song of Ice and Fire, or what about a scientific book? One of the people that actually has Lou Gehrig's disease is Stephen Hawking. He is one of the most intelligent people on the planet. Why not do a challenge that complements what he has contributed to our society with his great mind? And that is what I want to do in this video. I want to start a new trend of doing an intelligent challenge that I can challenge other people to do the same thing and it can spread. Because we're very intelligent people. We truly, truly are. We just need to show that to the world. So I'm going to start with this particular video. And just to kind of show you this is real time, I have a clock here. Let's put this here, you can see in the camera here. Oops, that's some lighting there. Let's get a little bit over here. There we go. So you can see the time. That is the actual time right now. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. And I've chosen one of my scientific books. And Michio Kaku. I read this book a couple of times. And this is called The Physics of the Impossible. So I'm going to read a chapter live right now. I'm going to stop the video a couple of times so you're not completely bored because I'm a slow reader. I like to read the content and I like to kind of, think about it and analyze it. That's why I like to read different books. So let's begin the intelligent Ice Bucket Challenge. And let me find a chapter here. Okay. Let me choose one that's one of my favorites here. It's one of my best chapters. Oh, here it is. Time travel. Okay. So let's get started. Now, if there's certain particular, paragraphs that I think is interesting, worth talking about or reading out loud, I'll read them out loud. So let's get started. Here's a paragraph. Sorry. Here's a paragraph that's something of interest, and I can read that. Again, this chapter is about time travel. Since then, time travel has become a regular feature of science fiction, from Star Trek to Back to the Future. In Superman 1, when Superman learns that Lois Lane has died, he decides, in desperation, to turn back the hands of time, rocketing himself around the Earth faster than the speed of light, until time itself goes backwards. The Earth slows down, stops, and eventually spins in the opposite direction until all clocks on Earth beat backward. Floodwaters rage backwards. Broken dams miraculously heal themselves, and Lois Lane comes back from the dead. The crew of the Enterprise in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, they hijacked a Klingon spaceship and they used it to whip around the sun like a slingshot and break the light barrier to wind up in San Francisco in the 1960s, but this defies the laws of physics. I love this paragraph right here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Talk about, of course, time travel and changing things. So this particular paragraph says, so if, for example, if we were to go back to the era of the dinosaurs and accidentally step on a mammal that happens to be our ancestor, perhaps we would accidentally wipe out the entire human race. History would become an unending madcap Monty Python episode as tourists from the future trampled over historic events while trying to get the best camera angle. Wow, this is a very big coincidence, and it does justice for this challenge. This is talking about ALS and Stephen Hawking's. Where did I begin? I kind of lost track here. Okay, there it is. So perhaps the person who has distinguished themselves the most on the dense mathematical equations of black holes and time machines is cosmologist Stephen Hawking. Unlike other students of reality who often distinguish themselves in mathematical physics at an early age, Hawking was actually not an outstanding student as a youth. Very similar to Einstein, by the way. And I lost my... there it is. He was obviously extremely bright, but his teachers would often notice that he would not focus on his studies and never lived up to his full potential. But a turning point came in 1962 after he graduated from Oxford, when he first began to notice the symptoms of ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. He was rocked by the news that he was suffering from the incurable motor neuron disease that would rob him of all motor functions and would likely soon kill him. At first, the news was extremely upsetting. What would be the use of getting a PhD if he was going to die soon anyway? Great paragraph, great paragraph. In 1974, Hawking also proved that black holes are not entirely black, but gradually emit radiation known as Hawking's radiation, because radiation can tunnel through the gravity field of even a black hole. So this paper that he released some time ago So his paper was the first major application of the quantum theory of relativity theory, and it represents his best known work. As predicted, ALS slowly led to paralysis of his hands, his legs, and even his vocal cords, but at a much slower rate than the doctors had originally predicted. As a result, he has passed many of the usual milestones of normal people, fathering 3 children. He is now a grandfather, divorcing his first wife in 1991, 4 years later marrying the wife of the man who created his voice synthesizer, hope I said that right, and filing for divorce from his second wife in 2006. Hey. In 2007, he made headlines when he went abroad a jet airplane that sent him into weightlessness, fulfilling a lifelong wish of his. His next goal is to blast off into outer space. They're talking about different type of time machine mechanisms, like the wormhole that is part of Einstein's equations that he's been talking about, and other scientific individuals talking about spinning cylinders. It's kind of strange. I was always kind of confused about that. Two chambers that are connected by a wormhole. Now talking about different type of chambers of basically keeping the wormhole intact. This is actually interesting. This is Larry Dower. Hope I pronounced that correctly. He said, should a time traveler who punches his younger self or vice versa be charged with assault? Should the time traveler who murders someone then flees into the past for sanctuary be tried in the past for crimes he committed in the future? If he marries in the past, can he be tried for bigamy even though his other wife would not be born for almost 5,000 years. You gotta love time travel. You ask a lot of interesting questions I just think about all the time. It's very good points there. That's not really true though. They're talking about the theory of everything. It's something that is discussed in quantum physics. It talks about it a little bit, not in detail, of course. Yeah. Almost finished. Almost finished. Because the laws of time travel are so closely linked to the physics of wormholes, time travel seems to qualify as a Class 2 impossibility. And chapter completed. So, I extend this challenge. To the Young Turks. I love the Young Turks. I love their personality. They're very honest. So I extend this challenge to Anna at the Young Turks, at J.R. Jackson at the Young Turks, and Chink also at the Young Turks. I challenge you to read a chapter of ideally a scientific book or Song of Ice and Fire or Harry Potter, some book of that kind of stature. And I also challenge you, if you have watched this video, do a challenge to read a chapter and to extend that chapter to somebody else. I want to thank you for watching this video as I complete it in about 30 minutes or so. And again, I want to start something different, an intelligent challenge, the book reading challenge. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.